Hello once again, welcome back to Business Live. Now, Cosmos Energy is partnering with Multimedia Group Limited to unearth innovations in agriculture through the Cosmos Innovation Center Agritech Challenge. The challenge looks out for innovative ideas by young entrepreneurs that provide solutions to challenges in the agriculture sector. Speaking to Joy Business after the official signing of the partnership agreement, Director of Corporate Affairs at Cosmos, George Sapon, said the introduction of the Agritech Challenge forms part of efforts to help revive agriculture in Ghana.
Partnership agreement between Cosmos Energy and Multimedia Group Limited makes Multimedia Group the official media partners of Cosmos Energy Innovation Center Agritech Challenge. Now, the Agritech Challenge simply seeks to unearth innovative business ideas along the agriculture value chain. Now, the most viable businesses after the competition will receive $50,000 to help them commence their businesses. George Sapon is the Director of Corporate Affairs for Cosmos and explains the interest in the agri sector.
Well, I think when you look at agriculture, Ghana, agriculture is the bedrock. For Ghana, basically, just about every livelihood in Ghana is touched one way or another by agriculture, and we've relied around the world to really move our agricultural level to the next level. So I think the young people have the excitement, they have the capacity, they have the skill set, they like to to apply innovation and technology, and that is what is going to move our agriculture to the next level.
This year's Cosmos Innovation Center Agritech Challenge is the third in the series since its commencement. According to the Managing Director of Multi-TV, Santok Singh, Multimedia Group partnering Cosmos through the KIC will help expose opportunities in the agri sector.
Because agriculture has always been considered as not lucrative or something which is difficult and doesn't yield profit or benefit. But we want to highlight through KIC what we are exposing is like the technology behind agriculture, what is available, and how agriculture can also become like a source of income for the young and upcoming entrepreneurs, and also how they can use the technology and innovation in the agriculture to better their life. JoyNews, Joy Business, and Multimedia as a whole always promote entrepreneurship for young group, and we will use this platform, and we are appreciative to Cosmos Energy through KIC on this initiative, and then we want to expose what is available out there, what is the opportunity out there for them that they can grab.
Meanwhile, the Cosmos Innovation Center also presented a check for 35,000 Ghana cedis to the AgriHouse Foundation in support of this year's pre-harvest and agribusiness exhibition in Tamale. Alberta Akosa is the executive director of the foundation.
Cosmos has an innovative product when it comes to agri-technology, and we are excited that most of the incubators are coming on board with those innovations to assist farmers adopt new technologies when it comes to agribusiness. And we are encouraging the youth also to be there. There are lots of training going to be that will be ongoing there at the grounds.
Sheila Tamaklo for Joy Business.
The United Nations has instituted a board to come up with some modalities for African countries that are yet to be part of the Continental Free Trade Agreement. Now, the members of the board, which has already been inaugurated, are expected to engage finance and trade ministers of Nigeria and South Africa, as well as other countries which are yet to sign on to the deal. This was disclosed by the Executive Secretary of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, Dr. Vera Songwe, here in Accra. Ebenezer Sabote has more.
Deal to create the African Continental Free Trade Area was signed at an extraordinary summit in Kigali, Rwanda, by representatives of 44 out of the 55 African Union member states. The agreement commits countries to remove tariffs on 90% of goods, with 10% of quote-sensitive items to be phased in later. It will also liberalize trade in the services sector and might in the future lead to the free movement of people and promote a single currency. The members of the board will visit various AU member countries that are yet to sign on to the deal, including Nigeria and South Africa. The Executive Secretary of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, Dr. Vera Songwe, noted that Africa needs more countries to join the agreement.
Technology is helping us and it's helping us in amazing ways because we actually now can move goods without moving people. And I think a lot of the work that is happening, for example, in Ghana on digitalization and payment systems, particularly important, is going to open up. And so what is going to end up happening for bigger countries is they're going to realize that if they don't come with the game, they may not make it. And so our sense is we need 22 countries for ratification. We're working very hard to get to the 22.
She lauded Ghana, Kenya and Rwanda and others for its swift move to ratify the deal.
I must say Rwanda, Ghana, Kenya and Niger, and we should clap for them, are the first 4 countries that have ratified the CFTA. Our mission over the next 6-7 months is to get 22 countries. We are sending out teams to every country, any minister that is here that needs support, any country. We are sending out teams to ensure that people can ratify. Once that is done, then I think that people will begin to see the benefits. Our analysis shows that we will have a 53% increase in continental trade if the CFTA is ratified and actions are taken. What does that mean? It means that we will be producing more on the continent, we will be selling more. Analysis that has been done in the ECA also shows that we just don't only want to sell, but we want to produce value. And we produce a lot more value when we sell amongst ourselves.
Analysts have therefore welcomed the Continental Free Trade Agreement and its potential to boost African economies.
Concerns continue to heighten over the nation's depleting fish stock. Illegal fishing practices, among others, are affecting the fishing sector in Ghana. According to the USAID Sustainable Fisheries Management Project, pelagic fish stand at total depletion by the year 2020 if current trends don't change. Karen Dodu has more in this report.
The Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture, as a way of replenishing the fish stock, has revealed it will soon announce an open season to allow fish eggs in the sea to mature. According to the Sustainable Fisheries Management Project under the USAID, the Fisheries Commission should end open access and complete the canoe registration and licensing of small artisanal fisheries. According to a report by the Sustainable Fisheries Management Project, small pelagic fishes such as anchovies, sardinella and mackerel stand a chance of complete depletion if catch levels continue at a constant rate of 20,000 metric tons per year.
Now, despite the enforcement of the taxpayer identification number 10 a couple of months ago, checks by Joy Business show that some financial and public institutions are yet to fully comply with the directive. The Ghana Revenue Authority set April 1 as official date for the full rollout of the TIN, but as it stands now, compliance level has been far from impressive. Charles Aite visited some institutions to ascertain the level of compliance so far.
It's been a month since the directive was given, and we have scouted through some financial institutions as well as public institutions on whether or not the directive is really being put in force. Out of 5 banks that we visited today, only 3 of them are effecting this directive. According to them, if you don't have the TIN number, there's no way that you could have your documents cleared or your bank accounts created for you. But in case you are still insistent, some of them have given a leeway for you to have at least 2 weeks before you could access, these accounts after you have registered for your TIN number. But for the other 2 banks that we did visit, it's not a requirement to have a full access to your documents and other financial services if you do not have your TIN number. They are saying that the same old rule goes. Without a TIN number, you could still have your services effected for you. Now, these are 2 distorting, responses that we've had from financial institutions, especially when the directive from the GRA is very much simple and clear. Without a TIN number, you cannot effect any transactional, services in the banking sector. Regarding the public institutions, the policy or the directive is currently in force. The Passport Office, for that matter, and the DVLA. You would need your TIN number in order for you to access services. We shall be exploring the reason behind most of these financial institutions not having to adopt the directive of you having a TIN number or not having your services at all in our subsequent bulletins, as we get to have clear answers regarding the reasons why this is happening and what necessarily would need to be the GRA's move in having to effect this directive once and for all. I'm Charles Aite for Joy Business.
In other news tonight, management of Kinross Toronto Gold Mines has reiterated the need to train youth in the catchment areas of mining operations. Vice President and General Manager of the mine, Durano Sobrera, says such an initiative will help empower local communities and prepare them to take up opportunities in the mines. Government has often advocated local content to be adhered to strictly by mining companies, despite some concerns about the quality of skills available in local communities. Mr. Sobrera spoke with Loud Business during a deba to honor 20 students who graduated from Toronto Mines' 3-year scholarship at the Kumasi Technical Institute. Principia reports.
Beneficiaries of the program were trained in technology and technical allied courses such as auto mechanic, welding, and others. The selection is done by the Community Consultative Committee, CCC, chaired by the Chief of Seshi Pabwase, Nana Frimpong Manson Abebio. He has often called for residents of communities in the catchment area to be prioritized.
Whenever there's any employment situation, they should give priority to our people who are the indigenous of this area, especially the catchment area.
Speaking at an event in honor of the students, Vice President and General Manager Durano Sobrera said the scholarship aims at equipping the youth of local communities with employable skills to make them marketable on the job market.
We've already had 350 of the youth come through this program. A huge percentage of them have already got work at Toronto. It depends on our ability and our capacity to accommodate as many of the youth as we can, whether it's through a short-term internship so that they can get practical experience to be able to move on to other areas. We know the mining industry is growing. There's a lot of mining companies that are starting to go underground, and they will require these skills. If you look at the skills that people have been trained in, it's all skills that can be used in the mining community. Mechanics, auto electricians, auto mechanics, plumbers, welders. These are all people that we can use and other people can use. It's creating that opportunity when it arises.
Officials believe the initiative will increase the literacy rate in its catchment area, leading to positive decision-making for community development.
And we end up in a situation where we have youth in the community that can change for the better and the future of the communities that they live in. And they become more skilled, better prepared, and they become leaders in their own communities, and therefore they make a difference.
20 beneficiaries out of 30 successfully graduated from the Kumasi Technical Institute. Leader of the beneficiaries expressed their gratitude
for the good decision they took in sponsoring us at Kumasi Technical Institute to be trained and acquire skills in diverse areas as mechanics, electricals, plumbing, and others. We acknowledge that this program is one of the most laudable initiatives of Kinross. This program has helped us gain practical experience and equip us with book knowledge. Once again, we thank the management for their mercy, support, and kindness during the program.
Prince Apia reporting.
Now, challenges to building good quality human resource base for sustainable businesses continue to undermine organizations, especially the rural banking sector. To this end, Amenfiman Rural Bank has initiated an internal system to equip employees with requisite skills to replace aging and retiring staff. CEO Dr. Alexander Asma says it is incumbent on businesses to consciously build the capacity of their employees. Prince Apia was at the launch of the Amenfiman Talent Academy program and has filed this report.
The Amenfiman Talent Academy program, ATAP, is a 2-year human resource training scheme. Personnel undergoes the training with help from mentors and coaches from the industry. Officials say it is part of the bank's effort to becoming a net exporter of human resource in the rural banking industry. Chief Executive of Amenfiman Rural Bank, Dr. Alexander Asma, spoke to Love Business at the graduation of the first batch of beneficiaries in Tarkwa.
We did this program as a strategic move to create a pipeline for succession. We are looking into a future that we can have people that we have groomed, inculcated our own culture into them, and provided them with the capability to take their business into the future. So we don't have a situation where we have to fill higher rules from outside, and then we can grow people from within to take up. That's the first thing. When we're able to do that, we're going to have improved performance of the organization, and then we're going to be able to achieve our vision of remaining the best and the leading bank in the country. Thirdly, we're going to have some financial results as well. When we improve our performance, it's going to count for shareholders, it's going to count for employees, it's going to count for the business, and everybody's going to benefit from it. From the individuals we are training, we know that this is a commitment to them. They are going to improve their personal development, and they are going to be competitive, not only in the rural bank industry, but in the banking and the financial services industry as a whole. And lastly, to the industry, our aim is to be a net exporter of human resource to our industry. We are not looking at a way if somebody lives here, we are losing. We are looking at a way if somebody lives here because of what we have provided for the person. He becomes a positive addition to the industry.
The participants also had the opportunity to intern at various institutions within the industry. 18 out of the 28 people who accessed the 2016 edition of the program qualified for selection and graduated in various skills. Managing Director of ARB Apex Bank, Kojo Mata, encourages other members of the rural banking industry to emulate Amemfemang's initiative.
But we need the human resource, and for that matter, the right human resource to be able to serve our customers better. And once we deliver good customer service, they will use word of mouth to propagate the message that rural banking or rural banks are not what they think, but then the good customer services that we render will speak for itself. We want to encourage other rural and community banks to embrace what Amemfema Rural Bank has started, so that we can have quality human resource in our banks, or improve human resource in our banks to be able to serve the customers better.
Prince Apia reporting.
Also tonight, Cabinet has approved the proposed takeover of ECG by Filipino firm Meralco. This would now pave the way for Parliament to scrutinize documents covering the planned takeover before giving its blessings possibly by next month. Chief Executive of MIDA, Martin Esom Benjamin, tells Joy Business all the necessary work has been done for Parliament's consideration.
Before Parliament rises, Parliament will rise at the end of July. Parliament will rise at the end of July. And in June, yes. So the process, already we've gone to Cabinet. Cabinet has already looked at the document, so it's gone past Cabinet. We don't know the outcome of Parliament. Cabinet decision in terms of the fact that I haven't received the letter, but I know Cabinet had a very good look at it and they were comfortable with the outcomes. And therefore, we expected that they will release the document to through the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Energy to Parliament. The process depends on what the cabinet sees, but I am aware that Cabinet is comfortable with the discussion that took place. Then it's operational. But then you need an additional 7 months to discuss a lot of related issues. You understand me? The basic agreements have been discussed and negotiated, and everybody is comfortable. But it's like having now been given the keys to a house, you start buying furniture and buying this into it, and everybody, you have some work to do together before you hand over the keys of the house to the person who is going to be the next tenant. That is the process, and that will take about 7 months.
Switching next to our interview of the day, and the need for business professionals to employ creative strategies in their day-to-day operations would come to the fore as various organizations gather for this year's Design Thinking Conference in Accra. Now, design thinking is being promoted as an approach to problem solving within organizations as well as to promote brands. This year's conference, which opens tomorrow in Accra, will focus on how organizations can use design thinking for competitive advantage and for social impact. Founder of Design Thinkers Group, Annie van Oosterom, and Dela Kumaho, a design product expert, have been speaking to Joy Business ahead of the event.
Here in Ghana, I think there is a really good opportunity to use this new this wave of this new thinking to jump ahead, because I feel that creativity and which is accompanied by passion and emotion and problem solving. I think that in Europe we lost a lot of that. We are way behind. If I'm here, I'm thinking we don't have to teach people a lot here. I mean, you have a lot of the things that we try to teach in Europe already in place.
Interesting stuff. Dela, you're in Ghana. Tell me about, I mean, we've talked about the future and problem solving. How do you think design thinking can help us in solving our problems here in Ghana?
It's the kind of thing that when it's not there, you notice it. But when it is there, things seem to run smoothly and it's not really a problem. But you can definitely look at some of the challenges that we have in government, some of the social challenges, some of the ecological challenges that we have, never mind sort of corporate and business challenges, and say that, design thinking is needed in terms of how you apply empathy, so how you understand people. That's probably the biggest thing. A lot of times you see initiatives coming up and not a lot of thought has been put into what the people who are going to use that initiative, that product or service, really, really need, on the one hand. And on the other hand, you can tell it wasn't necessarily thought through from a prototyping point of view. Like, it wasn't really, it wasn't thought through. So those are ways in which you can see design thinking, a need for design thinking. But I think that's true as much here as it is anywhere. Yeah.
Well, that's our program for tonight. There's more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. We've got the day's latest stories. You could find one of our top stories there. British Airways Ghana restructures for efficiency. U.S. Secretary of Commerce on fact-finding mission to Ghana and other countries in Africa. What are they trying to figure out? Well, you want to read more on our website. Plus today's latest in terms of videos, just in case you missed out on any of our bulletins. My name is Daryl Kwao. Thanks for watching. We're back same time tomorrow.